Setbacks are an opportunity to move forward. They allow you to see that I've made a mistake, or that I've come up with some sort of problem and I have to fix it. I have to solve that problem. So a curse, or that setback, can kind of be like a blessing in disguise because it reveals the problem to you, which allows you to solve it easier. And next, you act based on software and hardware, okay? So your conscious thinking is your software. And this kind of stuff can change super quickly, right? You can think about something else, you can think about something in the future. Like you can be, thinking about different things very quickly. Now, your subconscious is your hardware, okay? And that's the way that you feel about things, that's the way you interact with things in your world, and you can remove it. It's hard to remove though. It takes a lot of effort, and you kind of have to, override it with a lot of time invested into that. Next, count every win and get the dopamine from that win. So whenever you win, dopamine rewards you for that. And you want to feel that dopamine. You want to feel that reward whenever you go do something difficult, whenever you go accomplish something. But at the same time, you don't want to reward yourself every time, because if you do, then your body expects it, then your mind expects it. And what you want is you want to keep your mind and your body pushing for more. So oftentimes you just want to write your wins on the scorecard, but you don't want to reward yourself every time, okay? Watch people who are really good at the thing you want to do and write down the top 3 things that they think about. What do they talk about the most? What do they think about the most? Okay, what are the top 3 things that they do the best, and emulate them, okay? Because there are going to be some people who are really good at baseball, some people who are going to be really good at football. If you want to be the best football player and the best baseball player, there are 3 things that person at the very top, at the very peak, there are 3 things that they do, okay? If you look at someone like Tom Brady, okay, there's going to be 3 things he talks about. He talks about like leadership, how he wasn't the best player on the team, but he went out and did his best every day. How, the coaches put him down, but he didn't care. He showed up to practice every time, early, every single time. Those are the 3 main things that he talks about, or at least that I've seen him talk about. So if you want to be like Tom Brady, write those 3 things down and emulate him. Next, act like the situation has already happened and simulate what you're going to do. Simulate what's going to happen. And what this is going to do is it's going to prime your neurons, okay? So before you go into a situation, if you think to yourself, if you talk to yourself, if you act like it's already happened, you're going to walk in there and you're going to be so ready for it that anything unexpected that you can't quite predict that pops up, you're already going to be ready for it. You're going to have all that mental capacity to focus on that unexpected thing. Next, make a template or an outline to achieve a goal with success, okay? So if we want to think about what do I need to do? What's the next big thing for me? What goal do I need to accomplish, right? You need a template. You need to plan out what's going to happen. What do I need to happen in order for this to go? Okay? So build out that template. Build out that plan. Okay? Next, repurpose everything. Everything is useful. Okay? And this applies to everything. So even psychologically, if you have some things going on where, someone isn't treating you the best, or you don't like how something's happening, you can go, you know what? I know that thing's not going well. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to go, you know what? That thing's not going well, but I'm going to frame it in a way that's going to make me better. That's going to repurpose it and make it useful for me. So if you were in, let's say, an abusive relationship or whatever, like I was at one point, what I would do is I would reframe it as, this person just wants me to persevere through this. This person just wants me to get better through this situation. Okay? What number are we on? 85? Okay. Getting something one time is the easy part. Holding on to it consistently is the difficult part. And relaxing with it is the best part, okay? So it's super easy to go to the gym one time. It's super easy to get up early one time, okay? What's difficult is doing it consistently, okay? And then once you've done it consistently, then you can start to relax with it. You can start to enjoy it more. And that is the part that you're going for. Now that doesn't just come immediately, okay? You have to go through all the times where it's hard to hang on to it consistently and whatever, and then you get to the result. Next. So, seriousness is seen in the eyes. Hold your eyebrows high, okay? You want to project that you have confidence. If your eyes are wide and open and whatever, like it's gonna show weakness and relaxation. You want your eyes to show that you're determined, that you're successful, that you have something that you are going to put out there, okay? That's what you want to do. So make sure that your eyes are in the right place when you're talking to someone, when you're saying something important. Next, be the best version of yourself, and a great partner is going to find you. So if you build your character, if you become someone who's great in relationships, who's got a great life externally and internally, and has all these great things built out, the partner that you find is also going to have those things built out around them. You are going to attract whatever you go for. So think about that very carefully. You want to find a way to make yourself better, make your life better. And then the partner that you find will come to you, or you might come to them, but they're going to have a similar situation. And that's really what you want. Own your own mind. Everything you say in your mind is the reality that your mind lives. If you create the right mind, you will create the right life. Because your perspective on life is going to be the life that you end up living. So if you create the mind that's capable and smart and intelligent and able to do things and interact in life with a way that makes it easier, you're going to live the kind of life that's easier, where you are more capable, where you are more intelligent. So curate your mind. Next, use reasoning and critical thinking to explore complex ideas. So not everything is going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of complex stuff that's going to happen in your life. Okay? You're going to have difficult situations pop up where you have to make difficult choices, and you got to find out, all the complex details that go into something. Okay? So when you do that, you need to employ critical thinking. You have to think about things in a way that other people don't, or in a way that information isn't laid out. And if you don't do that, then you're not going to be able to understand the idea enough in order to tackle it, in order to figure out all the pieces and all the components that are important, because all the good stuff that you need is actually in the details. Okay? Don't forget about the main idea, but the details is also extremely, extremely important. Next, your attention is the currency that gets you results. Okay? So when I place my attention somewhere, it is going to give me a result. So if I were to think about going to the gym constantly and it was the only thing on my mind, what kind of results am I going to have? I'm going to have gym results, right? And my thinking is going to be just catered towards that. Now, am I going to go get strong and big muscles by just thinking about the gym 9 hours a day? No, I still have to go to the gym. But if my attention is there constantly, I'm going to start to feel, oh, I'm not going to the gym and I need to go. And at some point I've got to pick up my put on my shoelaces, and I've got to go to the gym. Okay? So focus on where your attention is, and that's going to get you great results. Insatiable motivation is created by the lack of anywhere to put up or to anywhere to put pent up motivation. Okay, so if we look at people who are like world renowned, like Eminem, he's able to express himself in a way that other people can't because he had all of that motivation that was pent up inside of him. All the times where he was, yearning to express himself, okay? And he didn't have that opportunity to do it, and then he kind of put it out into music, and that allowed him to open up, okay? And that pent up motivation was so strong that he became a platinum rapper, okay? Next, if you want to be a superhero or similar, take the actions that a superhero would take, okay? A person is not determined by their ego or their persona. They're determined by their actions. And that's how I want you to judge people. That's how people should be judged, by their actions, because we know that there are people who walk around and they kind of flex certain things and stuff, and that's not them. We know that that's not them, but they are able to put on that persona that it's them. Judge people by their actions. Judge people by what they say. Judge people by what they do. Next, be capable of being super intense, laser focused, and maximally hardworking. And if you are able to do that, and you are also able to be capable of, relaxing, slowing down, and being present, you're able to hold this dichotomy between I can work really, really hard when I need to, and I can also relax and be present in myself when I need to. And that kind of person is the kind of person who's able to do and be capable of doing loads of things while also taking a step back, taking a step in, and almost being like a monk, like meditative, all right? Next, sometimes you just need to let go of the ideal of something. So if you're constantly thinking about health and how can I get healthy, but you're not thinking about just going to the gym and just letting the ideal of health and being as healthy as possible just go, and instead just going to the gym and just letting that flow in, then if you can't hold that dichotomy together, you're going to get stuck in your head. Okay, so what you need to do is you just need to relax, and you just need to let it flow and let go of the ideal so that you can just go to the gym. Next, be the person you need to be for the life that you want to live. Okay, and regardless of how extreme that might be, choose the best character for your life and become him. Okay, life almost, in some ways, it feels like a game, okay? There are certain levels of the game that you can kind of play, but you don't ever want to be there. You don't ever want to sit there and think that life is a game, because then you treat it like a game. No, life is life, okay? Treat life that way, like it is reality, like everything you do is set in stone. But you also want to be the character that you want to be. You want to be the person that you want to be. You want to be the individual that you want to be, because you becoming an individual and focusing on your character development will make your life better, will make you a better person, okay? So focus on your life like that. Next, always review and double check your work. Look for simple, catastrophic mistakes. You don't want to sit there and go through everything over and over and over again, okay? Because that builds doubt. But you want to look for catastrophic mistakes of where you could have accidentally slipped up, and that's going to cause a huge issue. Okay, so double check your work, but make it quick. All right, be quick with it. And you don't want to double guess your answer with the same information, but you want to focus on, is this answer exactly how I want it to be? Is this exactly what I need it to be? Or do I need it to be, different, curated, whatever it might be, okay? So just focus on, did I make a catastrophic error here? And if I did, you can fix it super quick, and you can do that super quickly.